Hi, I just wanted to jump on today to just have a little chat about sewing and friendships and kind of how I know sewing can feel quite isolated, but how it can also help you develop friendships. So I took a little day out on Thursday to meet up with a lovely friend, Paula, who I met through Sew Virtual. And I'm going to tell you all about it and other friendships that I've made through sewing. So we had such a great day on Thursday, and I was always going to do a little vlog about it. We only went to one fabric shop. Going to Leeds for us, Paula lives near Blackpool, I live north of Newcastle. Going to Leeds for us was more about where can we meet in the middle, because we're just developing just this lovely friendship between us. I think we've both got a really well, most people have a good sense of humour, but you know, when you kind of get each other's sense of humour, and it just that whole day, and then coming back on the train, and then a few other things that have happened this week have really made me take stock about what sewing is given to me, not just in terms of developing my wardrobe and colours and the sort of things that I can wear now and all of that. But when I first started sewing again after a very long break, it was quite solitary. I was, I think I was at the dining table and then I was in the porch. I was always on my own. And somebody sent me a message one day and said, "Have you seen this thing called Sewtoon, so social sewing?" And I get a little bit of anxiety around going to things that I've not done before, and I can talk myself out of it, but something made me book in and go and follow through. And through that, I know I've mentioned before the lovely little community, the four of us that are the four old hems. So we've got Lynn, Judith, and Haley, and myself who do things together. We go to cottages, and yeah, we've developed, we sew together, but we've got friendships and a network of support as well. And I've known that for a little while. But over the last week, I've just some things have happened and it's just made me kind of think of and value it more. So Paula and I did go to Leeds. Let me tell you about that first. So we met up. I came out the back end of the train station. I think I walked about 2 miles to get back into the front. And we met up. We've met before in person. We met in Birmingham for the first time. And when I was looking back through Sew Virtual this year, Paula was actually the first person who booked into my sewing socials, which is just bizarre. And we planned that day so we could meet up, the normal things, go for a coffee, have some lunch, and we knew that there was B&M Fabrics because the Northern Soul Sisters had been there. So we knew there was some place to go and visit. But actually, if we hadn't bought any fabric, it wouldn't have mattered on that day. But I do think they thought we were a bit crazy in the shop, because I asked politely if they minded if I could take some footage, and they said yes. But then I caught Paula recording me recording the shop, and then I caught her peering round the corner, and we were just kind of having fun. Isn't it nice when you can have fun? But making new friends, particularly like I'm in early retirement. Paula's just took early retirement. Some of my friends don't work anymore. Um, so it can be quite hard to make friends when your life situations change for whatever reason. Or maybe you sew, but none of your friends are creative or crafters, so they don't get it. So it's like you're talking a foreign language. You maybe think I can tell them about this, but they're not really interested. Um, but being social with other people I just think it fills your soul and it's really rewarding. And I don't know, it just made me, on the way home, I was thinking about the day, I was thinking about Sew Virtual and sewing socials in general, because I made friends through Sewtoon, and then me, myself, and Mags and Dawn set up our little sewing social that we've got. And there's a lady who joined Sew Virtual last week who lives in Scotland near Edinburgh, and she was on again today, and she was saying that she really wanted to go to an in-person social. She thinks the nearest one to her is ours, which is North Tyneside, and she's booked in. It's a couple of hours and she's coming there. And I can see through the screen on Sew Virtual each week friendships and connections that are being made between different people, and I absolutely love it. And it's great to see people are going off to Sophisticated next weekend. That's been running before, but people have, like Erica won't mind me saying, she has met Eleanor. She's then gone to Surrey Saws. they've just been to the Knitting and Stitching show and met up in London. And then another lady, Philippa, came on this week, and she was on the catwalk the same time as Eleanor. And Erica became like the paparazzi reporter, recording it for everybody, and then shared that onto So Virtual. And I just love it. I just think it's, yeah, it can be quite a lonely place. It can feel like you're the only one, that nobody kind of understands your hobby. And let's face it, there are times where lots of us, and I include myself in this, might choose to sew, and we might want to be on our own because we might need that headspace to be on our own. And we do get people in my virtual sewing sessions who need to take time out now and again because of things that have happened in the personal life, sadly, and also sometimes just come back on whenever they feel ready, and maybe don't sew, but just listen to all the chat, the banter and the laughs, because that can be a distraction in itself as well. So I think sewing can just give that, I don't know, that whole, it feeds all our different emotions, doesn't it? It gives us isolation when we need it, but it can also be interactive. Now, you may not be in the UK, you may be in a different part of the world. I think we seem to do a lot of this in the UK, but maybe other places need to start that off. And the lady that's from Scotland, Gillian, was, saying there isn't anything like that. And now it's that, we were saying we'll start something. And you might think, well, I don't know anybody. Paula's recently started a sewing social in Preston. I'm going there in 2 weeks' time. And sometimes you've got to take that big brave step and put your big girl pants on and think, right, come on, I'm going to be the one who's going to do this. And the rewards will give back to you, in multiple times. But what I was saying to Gillian was, you might feel like you're doing it on your own, but you've got people here that can help you and tell you, give you advice about how they set theirs up, and maybe the mistakes they made, or what they would do different next time, or what works well, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm prattling on, but I just felt like I needed to get it out my head and say it to all of you. If you're somewhere and you think, I'd love to go to something like that. Firstly, like Gillian did, go on to a virtual if you don't fancy mine. There are lots of other virtual sewing sessions, but I'd love you to be on mine. Give it a try. You will connect with people, even the quietest people. I got a beautiful message from a lady, I'm not going to say her name, and I literally was like, because it just touched my heart. She's lovely and she's so quiet, yet she feels like she's found a home with us. And I know I try to make sure everybody's included. So even the people who may be a little bit quieter, I'll just ask some questions to bring them in. So if you feel like going to an in-person social is maybe too much for you right now, try booking into one of the virtual ones, because I promise you will have fun, have a laugh, make friends, have a range of conversations. We've just had our 5-hour monthly Sunday social today, and we talk about all sorts, some of which aren't so unrelated, but we have a good crack. That's what friends do. And yeah, don't sit there thinking I'd like to and keep thinking I'd like to. Just take that opportunity and go for it and do it. And yeah, just in case you're thinking, did I buy any fabric? I did indeed. I bought 2 planes. Well, actually, I bought 3 planes. I bought some caramel cuffing. I bought some brown linen. These are very unlike me. It's like, who's taken Alison and removed it with this person who's buying plain fabric? And this green. But come back on Friday and I'll tell you what I'm going to plan to do with them. In fact, some of it might be made by then. And if you're watching all of these frock tales that are going on and sophisticated next week and thinking, oh, I'd love to go to something like that, but it's just not possible for me in person, then I just want to let you know that So Virtual is having its first frock tale event online on the 17th of January. And it's going to be an online social. It will be the normal £5 for 2 hours, and all money raised is going to go to charity. I've not decided which one yet, but it is going to go to charity. And yeah, I had some ideas running, and Sarah, who comes to my Wednesday morning session, I could tell by her reaction when I announced it on Wednesday, and she's very kindly offered to help me with some of the planning around the things that we're going to do. So it'll feel like fun. There'll be virtual goodie bags and all kinds. My head is just full of ideas for it. And the good thing is you can get dressed up on your top half and have your pyjamas on the bottom half and your slippers because you're on screen. You know that whole Zoom thing? You'll only see the top half. So I'm going to open that up to bookings for people who were already attending So Virtual up till the end of the month. And then I'll let you know on here. And if you follow me on Instagram, so like Dotty, you'll see me announce on Instagram when it's opened up to anybody else who would like to come. And it will be restricted to, I think I can have 40 people on my screen at once. My virtuals are usually anywhere between maybe 10, 13, up to a maximum about 23 people on a weekday one, but this will feel a bit different. So I'm going to open it up to a little bit more in terms of people that can attend. But yeah, keep a watch out for that, because maybe you can't get to an in-person Frocktails, but you'd like to come to a virtual one, and we'd love you to come. So I'll catch up with you on Friday for my normal Friday sews. You take care and enjoy some sewing.